A British battle group has shown up off the coast of Helgoland again in our waters, and this time the Kronprinz, our brand new Kaiser Wilhelm II class battleship, escorted by 2 destroyers, is sailing out from Kiel in order to intercept the British fleet, consisting of the heavy cruiser Hampshire and 4 Spartan class light cruisers. The light cruisers are, to our information, armed with 130mm guns, and the heavy cruiser with 200mm guns. This should be a task that the Kronprinz can handle by herself with the escort of these 2 destroyers, one of them of the newer V16 class and one of them of the older S-138 class. This will be the baptism of fire for the newly built battleship, and she will have to prove herself against a foe that she certainly can take on. While the scouting destroyers are still following the smoke that we've been detecting in the southwest, it looks like we have actually made contact with ships in the north by the looks of it. So the Kronprinz is engaging what looks probably like a heavy cruiser at 7 kilometers. We will slightly change our course. We don't want to get too close because these ships most likely have torpedoes. But she's already caused some damage with the 305mm main guns. And from this range, she has a relatively decent chance of hitting. So that heavy cruiser is in all kinds of trouble, and we'll see how that's going to end up for her with the big guns incoming. Again, the British are very, very sneaky about how they're deploying. So. We haven't identified this ship yet, but the Kronprinz is firing with the main guns at this range, and should be able to get a couple of hits in. There's some more smoke over there, so I'm assuming that there are more ships, probably the light cruisers. We may actually, given that we're sailing sort of on a parallel course, but in opposite directions, we might actually have to turn the Kronprinz around, unfortunately. But let's see first if she can get some hits in. Yep, that was not bad. An overpenetration on the rudder, and again we still haven't identified the ship, but I might change course slightly. These were some hits from the 200mm secondaries, and yeah, that heavy cruiser is not in a good shape. So I think the British have not expected us to have a fully fledged battleship ready. And a partial pen on the funnel from one of the 200mm secondaries. Of course, turning around is going to throw our solution off quite a bit, but we'll get the destroyers to give chase as well. It might be that the groups are separated, and the cruiser is returning fire, but I don't think he's going to be able to do an awful lot. And the Kronprinz has already caused some quite significant damage here, I would say. So these shells coming in, she's already going down by the stern somewhat. I think she's starting to take on, she's taking on quite a list, which is going to put her starboard guns out of action. Currently we're thinking that it might be a battleship, but I'm gonna do a turn hard to starboard on the Kronprinz, just to make sure that because she can only do 22 knots, so she has no chance of catching the light cruisers. But what do we have here? Is that a charging light cruiser? That indeed is a charging light cruiser. So keep the course and focus the secondaries onto the charging light cruiser, and we're going to get the destroyer groups I think actually focus all the guns on the light cruiser. I think the heavy cruiser is already pretty much dead in the water at this point. We haven't identified the ship yet, but she's flooding heavily. She's got engine damage, and I think that light cruiser is going to blow up spectacularly. Yep, there goes the turret flying. She is laying smoke and is obviously going in for a torpedo run. But I don't think she will live long enough to make that happen. So shots, the large caliber secondaries from the Kronprinz and especially the main guns, if they can get a hit in on her, are going to cause quite some damage on this thing. The heavy cruiser is still returning fire, but we will concentrate fire onto the light cruiser. We've got a 94% solution on the main guns, so the next salvo is probably going to be relatively catastrophic. Oh, there's another light cruiser. Okay, we have to make sure we're actually focusing the first one out of the two. So the heavy cruiser is already going down. And yep, there they all are. There is another light cruiser here. So that's the one. We haven't identified him yet, but keep a steady course. And the destroyers are rushing back in order to assist with potentially with some torpedo runs. We don't know if we're even in torpedo range of these ships, so we may actually turn slightly to port and drop some speed down to 20 knots. But hopefully with a good broadside we should be able to deal with these light cruisers relatively easily. Yeah, so the heavy cruiser is sinking, and there come 3 light cruisers, I believe. So we'll do a hard turn to port. I don't know what their torpedo range is. They are at 4 kilometers at this point, so we are probably within torpedo range. Engines to all ahead flank and hard turn to port, just to avoid any potential torpedoes. That is going to throw our solution off a little bit. But we can still do some severe damage, and these cruisers seem to be wanting to give battle, which is very brave of them. Where are my destroyers? They are coming in, but they are still a little bit behind. So while the Kronprinz is turning slightly away to avoid any potential torpedoes, she's already managed to get some severe hits on this light cruiser, which is now trying to disengage, which I think is not, probably means he has got torpedoes away, but I already see water washing over the deck, and I think that light cruiser is not going to live for very long. So in which case we can probably turn to port again, turn to starboard again. That one is going down, so let's start targeting the next. They have set a fire, but I don't think that's gonna get them anywhere. Let's already start targeting the next one. This light cruiser, we haven't even identified it. Oh, it's the Boudica. But I think from this flooding, she's probably already going down. So let's already target the next one. And I am going to drop speed actually to 18 knots at this point to again avoid any potential torpedoes. The destroyers are rushing in. They can target this light cruiser. Yeah, these are all light cruisers. So hard turn from the Kronprinz, and this is causing us, from our maneuvers, obviously, is causing us some trouble here with targeting. But we'll see if we can get some hit in on target from the secondaries. And I think now we can straighten her out again and increase to all ahead flank and see if she can take this one out. The destroyers can start laying smoke, and they are, I think, in torpedo range. So let's already go. The cruisers are starting to target the destroyers, so let's see that we can drop our torpedoes and maybe some gunshots on target, and then get the heck out of here. I think we have dropped torpedoes. So, oh yeah, the V5 is taking fire. There are some cruiser torpedoes coming in, and I think V5 needs to detach and needs to go evasive. Otherwise, she's going to run into those torpedoes. So she's going to turn around that side. Meanwhile, the Kronprinz is still targeting the Sheffield and going straight. She's starting to get a better solution. We'll see if we can get any torpedo hits in. I think the torpedoes from the light cruisers have missed. So the V5 only has taken a couple of hits, but the friendly torpedoes are coming in. So the Pandora is going evasive. We'll see if we can get some torpedo hits in here. She's taking some fire from the 105s. I think these 3 are missing, but I think the 4th torpedo here might be able to hit, unless it's a dud. Nope, that's a good torpedo hit. That's taken out her engines, and I think that ship is out of commission, which leaves the Sheffield. And I think the Sheffield is finding out the hard way. Okay, there are torpedoes in the water, so turn hard to port. Turn hard to starboard and drop speed. And we'll see if we can take this one out. We've got trouble actually hitting this thing because of the smoke that she's been laying. But I think we probably managed. I'm not sure where the torpedo. I think is that the torpedo wake. That is the torpedo wake. So we've managed to dodge that torpedo, and in that case, all ahead flank and wipe out the Sheffield if you can, please. Main guns on target, full salvo, but that was rather dreadful. I think she is turning. I'm not sure if she's trying to get the torpedoes away on the other side, but we probably just need a good hit or two. And I think, yeah, that has pretty much wrecked this light cruiser completely. So that ship, I think, is going to be done for. More torpedoes incoming, but I think due to our no, Sheffield is still afloat. Due to our speed and course changes, that has actually missed as well. And yeah, the 305s and the 203 3mm secondaries are completely wrecking this light cruiser here. We're going to drop speed again to 15 knots and do a slight turn to port, just in case there are, because there's still the Pandora out there, although I'm not sure if it still has torpedoes in our general direction, or if she's all out. But at this range, even the 88s are doing damage, and that light cruiser is going to be blown up very. Yep, that was a full penetration and a flash fire, and I think that ship is pretty much done for. The turrets are flying. She's burning from stem to stern, and magazine has exploded. That is the end of that one, which means we can now shift our fire to the Pandora and finish her off. Slight turn to starboard. I am going to probably disengage with the. I'm going to retreat with the destroyers. They've done their job. They have done the. I mean, they haven't done their job scouting, but I think the Kronprinz can take it from here. We still have, what is this over there? We still have the Undaunted over there, which is still on full hit points. So let's make sure we maintain good speed. Speed up again in case she's got torpedoes away from her position over there, and maintain a slight turn to starboard while we're hammering the Pandora over there. That was an over penetration, and I think the Pandora, yeah, the Pandora's got floodings. Sheffield's blown up and is already sinking. The Boudica is still alive apparently, which is interesting. It's turn a little bit more, although the Pandora is pretty much dead in the water. So speed to all ahead full, because we don't want to lose the other guys. These are probably faster than us, although with the engine damage that they have taken, I very much doubt that there's going to be an awful lot left of them. And I just don't want to risk any of my destroyers unnecessarily. I'm pretty sure the Kronprinz can just take these down from here. Let's see, Pandora is trying to run, but that's not going to do her any good. Boudica is still afloat. Full salvo out at the Pandora. Let's see if we get any hits in. Yep, that looked good. And I think she's done for. Yeah, so that one's done for. So yeah, Pandora is sinking. Let's take the Boudica out. Actually, let's, oh yeah, drop speed. She's got torpedoes away. Drop speed and hard to starboard. We're going to focus the secondaries on the Boudica, and we're going to focus the main guns on the Undaunted, which is the flagship of that remaining group. Okay, we have managed to dodge the torpedo. Speed up again. Go up to full ahead. And I think the secondaries can probably finish up the Boudica. And is the Undaunted running? Yes, the Undaunted is running. So we do need to go back to all ahead flank and see that we can do something about that. But the Boudica is taking damage from the 305s. I thought I told you to use the secondaries on that one. Ah well, she's done for. Focus down the Undaunted. And yep, that's it. She's at a range of... What is this right now? Can't see because of the positioning. She's at a range of 5 kilometers. Yeah, 4.9 kilometers. I think we're going in a slight turn, but we'll be perfectly capable of... I don't know what these things... What's the speed of these things? 25 knots. So we do have to get a hit in. Actually, you know, get these... No, not all three into a battle line, just the destroyers. Detach these two. Yeah. Go back, and you probably have torpedoes reloaded by now, because the Kronprinz isn't going to be, even at flank speed, isn't going to be able to catch this one. So unless she can get a good hit in, we might get the destroyers to go back and see if they can intercept her, just in case the Kronprinz cannot finish her off. So because the Undaunted is running, and we do need to get a hit in order for her engines to get knocked out and to slow down sufficiently that we can actually catch her. And yeah, a sailing away target is not that easy, so that's our course right now. That's probably okay. I mean, we're never going to catch her anyway. She should still be... I just want to get all guns on target. And we are trying to... Where's she coming? This way. So let's go here. We are trying to intercept with the destroyers. Who do we have in the lead? The V-37 is almost reloaded, so she should be able to do something. Unless I think the V5 is going to come in first. So let's detach her. Oh, never mind. We've landed a good hit with the 305s, which I think has knocked out her steering. I don't know how much the Undaunted, how much speed she can still make. 21 knots. So yeah, I don't think she's getting away. That one's Pandora is sinking, Boudica is sinking. Yeah. So I think Kronprinz can finish her off. Otherwise, we will finish her off with the destroyers. So go for a straight run. V5 has taken a little bit of damage, but where did she go? I think we just lost. Did we just lost her? Did we just lose her? She was just there. I think we may have lost her. Let's get the V-37 to flank speed and see if she can... Or did we just blow her up? I'm not sure. No, she should be somewhere around here still. I'm not going to end the battle just yet. I would like to reacquire her. I think she's just gone unspotted. And let's see if we can... let's see if the destroyers can intercept. I think V5 was relatively close. And she's disappeared into the fog. So we'll see if we can reacquire the target. Otherwise, that one will unfortunately get away. But let's see if we can get the target back. We have reacquired the Undaunted, and V5 is going in for an attack run, but at the same time has to watch out for incoming torpedoes. We will, but given that she has laid smoke, which has allowed her to go briefly undetected, so we'll get V37 on course as well, and the Kronprinz can turn slightly and unleash hell at that thing again. Let's see if V5 can manage to get some torpedoes in, but she's now in a stern chase. Yep, there come the cruiser torpedoes, and the stern chase is not ideal, but she is faster than the Undaunted. So let's see if we can drop some torpedoes in her general direction. And V37, she is a very sneaky light cruiser. She almost got away from us, but V5 has managed to reacquire her. And we will see if we can get a torpedo drop off on her. Just be careful that we're not hitting our own ships. So V5's having a slight damage and flooding in the rear compartment. So torpedoes away if we can, and then we will turn about from the destroyers and just make sure that we keep her spotted. V37 has the faster speed, so I'm going to keep chase with V37, and she can also use her guns on her. The Kronprinz does need to turn a little bit, and at this range it's actually probably reasonably difficult. Yeah, it's reasonably difficult for her to actually hit her, because that thing is in smoke. But we will see. We'll see what we can do. V5 has dropped. I'm not sure if she has. Yeah, she's dropped all her torpedoes. She's out of torpedoes, so she can retreat. V37 is on fire and is taking fire from the cruiser, so she's going to get laying smoke as well. And we will see if we can get. She's also launched her torpedoes, so right now we just need her to maintain visual on the light cruiser, and for that we will probably just be dancing a little bit around here. But we're hoping for a hit from the Kronprinz to finish off this thing. Okay, V37 has managed to respot her, and I think she has just taken a massive beating from the main guns from the Kronprinz. Yeah, these were 3 hits from the 305s and 2 hits from the 200mm secondaries, and I think her compartments are flooding, and I think the ship is going very much down to the bottom. Yeah, if you're a bunch of cruisers, taking on a fully fledged Dreadnought class battleship is probably not a wise choice. So let's see how long she can still stay afloat. I've got the destroyer closing in as well, although she is out of torpedoes, but she can still get some shots in with her main guns. I'm not sure if the cruiser still has torpedoes. She might have, so let's just make sure we're not running into anything. But the V37 is going in a little bit closer than I was actually thinking, so let's make sure she gets out of here, and she can retreat as well, because I think that ship is going down. And yeah, her turrets are flying in the air. Magazines have been exploding. How much armor did they have on these things? 122mm of belt is actually not terrible. But yeah, it's obviously not enough. No reason to risk our destroyer. How much speed is she making? 12 knots. Yeah, even the Kronprinz can actually catch her now. So she just needs to complete her turn, because that thing keeps maneuvering. But I think at this point she just needs one more good hit, and that might have been the hit that she needed. The rear compartments and forward compartments are flooded, but I think her citadel is still intact, surprisingly. So we might need a couple more hits on this thing to make her go down. But that is without a doubt a victory for the German Navy. And there we have the results. We have lost 12 sailors, the British have lost over 2,000. They have lost the Hampshire, the Boudica, the Undaunted, the Pandora and the Sheffield. And it has been a crushing victory and the first engagement of our brand new battleship, the Kronprinz, the Kaiser Wilhelm II class battleship. Who's done the most damage? The Kronprinz very, very clearly. And the V-37 has actually done pretty well as well. The older destroyers need to be refitted in order to become a little bit more competitive. But that was a good start for our operation, and that border patrol in the North Sea has led to a victory for the German Navy. All three ships have taken very, very minor damage. They might be having to go in for repairs, but all in all, it has been a good day in the Battle of the North Sea. And all in all, at least at sea, this has tipped the war with the United Kingdom in our favor. We will see what the next engagement will bring.